property is symmetry property. Symmetry properties of DTFT. Generally, DTFT can be represented as DTFT, discrete time Fourier transform can be represented as x of e power j omega, that is equal to summation n is equal minus infinity to infinity x of n into e power minus j omega. Right? So this is a general formula for DTFT, discrete time Fourier transform. X of e power j omega is equal to summation n is equal minus infinity to infinity x of n into e power minus j omega. So this is a representation. X of e power j omega is nothing but it is a complex formula. So complex signals can be represented in the form of a rectangular formula, that is equal to x of e power j omega is equal to xr of e power j omega plus j into I into xi of e power j omega. So this is nothing but real part, this is nothing but imaginary part. xr of e power j omega is nothing but real part of x of e power j omega. It is nothing but imaginary part. Imaginary part of x of e power j omega. Generally, so from this definition, x of e power j omega is equal to summation n is equal minus infinity to infinity x of n into e power minus j omega. So here summation n is equal minus infinity to infinity x of n, here e power minus j omega is also a complex formula. So it can be represented in the form of cos as well as the sin according to Euler's theory. Therefore cos of omega n plus j into sin of omega n. Now this is equal to summation n is equal minus infinity to infinity x of n into cos omega n plus summation n is equal minus infinity to infinity x of n into sin omega n to j. So this is a representation of this standard form. Now let us consider equation number 1. It is nothing but equation number 2. Now compare equation number 1 and 2. Compare equation number 1 and equation number 2. So from this comparison, we will get xr of e power j omega is equal to first term. So this is nothing but real part, it is nothing but imaginary part. So real part is equal to summation n is equal minus infinity to infinity x of n into cos omega n, as well as imaginary part xi of e power j omega is equal to summation n is equal minus infinity to infinity x of n into sin omega n. Right? These are the imaginary part as well as the real part of the Gauss-Bonnet signal. So let us consider equation number 3, equation number 4. Suppose we know from basics cos of minus omega is equal to cos omega, sin of minus omega is equal to minus sin omega. So this is nothing but even signal, this is nothing but odd signal. So from this basic conclusion, xr of e power minus j omega is equal to summation n is equal minus infinity to infinity x of n into cos of minus omega into n. So that is equal to n is equal minus infinity to infinity x of n cos omega n. So this is generally called as the even symmetry. Right? Next one is nothing but xi of e power minus j omega is equal to summation n is equal minus infinity to infinity x of n sin minus omega of n. So that is equal to minus n is equal minus infinity to infinity x of n into sin omega n. So this is generally called the odd symmetry. So these are the two properties of DTFT in case of the even symmetry. Second one is nothing but odd symmetry. It can be represented in the form of a rectangular fragment. Now we can represent these x of e power j omega in the form of a polar format also. So generally we know that suppose if we consider x of e power j omega so this is nothing but general formula. Suppose x of e power j omega is a complex signal. It can be represented in the form of a polar format is nothing but some magnitude x of e power j omega as well as e power theta of omega. So this is the general representation for the polar format. So from this it is a polar representation. Now so from this criteria in this case x of e power j omega can be represented as modulus of x of e power j omega. Here also it can be represented again in the form of Euler's theory cos of theta of omega plus j into sin of theta of omega. So this is nothing but general formula. I think all of you well know about this one. E power j theta is equal to cos theta plus j sin theta. So from this basic rule we can represent the corresponding e power j theta. That means complex signal can be divided to like this. So from this it is equal to modulus of x of e power j omega into cos of theta of omega plus j into modulus of x of theta of omega into sin of theta of omega. So I think in our previous discussion we will consider general x of e power omega can be represented in the form of a rectangular format. So I can represent again here also. It can be represented as x r of e power theta of j omega plus j into real part. It can be imaginary part x of e power j omega. By comparing these two equations in the two sides, we will get real part of x r of e power j omega is equal to modulus of x of e power j omega into cos theta of omega. Second one is nothing but imaginary is equal to x of theta of omega is equal to modulus of x of theta of e power j omega into sin theta of omega. These are the representation in terms of the polar coordinates. So I think we know that from the even symmetric cos theta of minus omega is equal to same signal as well as it is also equal to minus r signal. So from this conclusion here it can be x r of theta omega is equal to this. Generally suppose if we consider x of theta of omega, so it can be represented in the form of a rectangular format x r of j omega plus xi of j into xi of e power j omega. So if we consider the modulus of this one, e power j of modulus of this equal to square root of xr of theta of omega plus xi of theta of omega. So if we take modulus of x of theta of omega is equal to square root of xr of theta of omega plus xi of e power minus theta of omega whole square. But we will get finally it is equal to real part only xr of theta of omega here only. So these two are equal for this one. If you find out the phase of the corresponding sequence, so that is nothing but theta of omega. Generally theta of omega is nothing but phase. So that is nothing but theta of omega is equal to minus tan inverse of xi of theta of omega divided by xr of theta of omega. So this is a general representation. If we find out the theta of minus omega is equal to minus tan inverse of, generally tan inverse of therefore xi of e power minus theta of omega divided by xr of e power minus theta of omega. So we know that in previous class from the basic of even symmetry as well as odd symmetry it can be represented like this. Xi of e power minus j omega is equal to minus of xi of e power j omega. Therefore minus of tan inverse of xi of theta j omega divided by as well as real part xr of e power j omega. So this is the phase representation theta from, so it is also get, we will get the minus of, therefore magnitude is the even symmetry, phase is the odd symmetry. So that is the conclusion from this symmetric properties of the DTFT. This is very important properties. So suppose if we consider general representation, x of minus n is equal to what? X conjugate of minus n is equal to what? So these are the just solutions for your point of view. So you have to solve the corresponding to equation. We will get in the form of a symmetric one. So that is the today's class. It is also very important for you.